Hello, everybody out there. Can everybody hear me? Welcome to Survival Preparedness for Beginners. Saturday night, 8 o'clock. So happy to see everybody here. All right, if everybody can hear me, give me a number 1 so I know everything is working on my end, and we will get going here. All right, we got the number 1s coming through. Thank you very, very much. I'd first like to start off. We have a new mod in the house tonight. That's copy first, then speak. On top of my other 2 excellent, great mod, JT and Jan. They have been doing the dirty work and keeping everybody in check for quite a long time, and they do an excellent job, and I can't thank them enough. Oh, we have another one on here too. Cassie Bassino is on. She's another mod. Nice to see you too, Cassie. All right. So we're just going to go through. We got some stuff we're going to talk about tonight. And we have a giveaway that's coming up. That was for the video on Friday. And we are giving away well, I'm not going to tell you yet. Keep you in suspense a little bit here, folks. And we do have quite a bit to cover. I just wanted to try to go through real quick and acknowledge a few people. Pitbull's here. Nice to see you. Stuart Prepping. Thanks for joining in. Caribbean House. Texas Girl. Angela. Are you? Just scrolling through. South Florida GCL. How are you doing? Ray Goldman. How are you? Mo's here. Vicky. Nice to see you. This thing's kind of jumping, so just bear with me here, folks. I'm going to try to get as many as I can get in here so we can get going on this video. Copycat. E. Howard from West Virginia. How you doing? The great state of West Virginia. Michael O'Brien's here from Kissimmee. WTH and WTF is here. There's also a WTH too. I haven't seen them yet. Sabrina. Susan B. I'm just trying to scroll through really quick here, folks. Sonia. Sandy Crabtree's here. Vision Preparedness. Nice to see you. Joan T. Michael O'Brien. Philip. Barbara King. Trapper Bob. Hey, Trapper Bob. How you doing? Shenandoah. Sunset's here. Veronica. Philip. Michelle. Edwin. Everybody's joining in. Oh, I just jumped again. All right. I tell you what, folks. You know what? We got some stuff to cover here, and make sure this is turned on. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on out there, huh? The Feds this past week, they raised the interest rate there, 75 points there, equaled out to, brings it up to a home mortgage rate now is pushing right at 6%. So that's pretty hard to swallow if you were in the market of buying a house or something, because that could have just priced you out of it. The same with, if you're buying a car, your credit cards are going to take a hit. Something that's major that's going to happen if we go into this recession, because they're already talking about raising these rates even more throughout the rest of this year. And that's going to be a very bad thing. I understand they have to get the inflation under control. But when they start really pushing that, usually that tends to put us into a recession. Like back in 2007 through 2009 was the last recession that we were in. And at that point in time, 22 million people out there lost their jobs. That's the first thing that goes. That's why this video today is labeled "The Future of Some Businesses Will Result in This." And what's going to take place is what happens for all of you that maybe don't know. When a recession hits, the first thing that usually goes is people start losing their jobs. Companies start cutting back. Some companies will close. Some companies will lay off. Some companies will freeze raises. Some companies will turn around and if you had bonuses or anything else, they put a freeze on all that kind of stuff. They pretty much call the bank and they control what goes on and how much you're going to get paid. Now, right now, up to this point, before we got to this point, a lot of people were basically demanding because a lot of businesses were hurting so bad for employees. They were paying these people astronomical amount of money for probably a job that really didn't qualify for that type of pay. But that's the market we were in at that point in time. Now the tide has turned, so it's going to go back the other way. So the first one's going to go. These companies are going to start getting rid of all their baggage, if you wish. And what's going to take place is once these people and these companies start doing this, it's a ripple effect. It's going to roll right down through, and there's no stopping it until the recession is over. Now, you did have, these analysts and stuff are saying now. I read a report just today that they were talking about, oh, gas prices are going to go down to $60 now because of, the raising interest rates. Well, folks, I hate to tell you, but even if the gas prices do drop, it's going to take a while for the gas prices to come down. They go up 20, 30 cents at a time. They're not going to drop them that fast. They may drop them 2, 3 cents every few days or something like that. These oil companies are going to sit there and they're going to take as much of our money as they possibly can because that's what they like to do. They always like to control everything. Now, on top of that, you have the government right now. The president is, he's trying to backtrack from, when the first day in office, he signed all these paperwork and everything else and executive orders and put a stop to drilling pipelines and all this other crap. We're not going to get into all that. But now they're backtracking on the whole shebang here. Now they're saying, oh, well, wait, I mean, holy cow, we got to do something. You guys got to do and drill more oil and do this and pump that. And what a lot of people don't really understand is um, when Charlie Victor 19 came to town in March of 2020 and everybody stopped driving, planes stopped flying, um, everything. So demand went way down. So a lot of these smaller oil companies that were in business, you see, all these small little companies, when you look at it, as I'm going to explain it to you, they all play a critical role in our everyday life, our everyday, um, how we do business. All right. Everybody thinks it's all the big corporations and stuff, but without the little guys, we'd be really hurting. And let me explain why, because this is a perfect example. When Charlie Victor 19 came to town and everything just basically shut down, nobody went anywhere, nobody did nothing. All right. All these small little oil companies all went out of business. So now you're left with all the large companies that want to control everything. And that's what their goal is. They want to make sure that they are making as much money as possible because they don't have any competition. There's nobody, all these small companies were all basically kind of like adding that little bit, even if it was maybe only 500,000 barrels a day or a week or whatever, into our supply. So now they're gone. And these big oil companies are just like, well, we'll see what we can do. And you got the president saying, well, he'll sign an executive order under like a wartime order and make them either drill more oil or produce more oil, pump more oil, whatever the case may be. And we'll see how that flies. Okay. Because the oil companies, they control the country. They got us all. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact of life. You know what I'm saying? So without these small companies, we're going to be really hurting. And I'm afraid that if we go into a recession, we're going to lose a lot of small businesses throughout the land. And there'll be a ripple effect because then you'll be no longer be able to go to your local and your little small town or even your town, go downtown and you shop at a uh, say a small farmers market, um, a meat market, something like that. Those little guys probably are not going to be able to withstand what is going to take place. They're not going to be able to afford to stick around. Now, I do believe, as I did a video that came out earlier today, and if you guys didn't see it, go back and watch it because I did do a video and I showed you prices and I showed people the point of that video was basically to try to help people become more aware that, there are ways that you can get out there and you can sit right in front of your computer and you can look up stuff up and you can check and see what's in the flyers for all these different stores. You can sit there and you can make a list if these stores are close by. So maybe, depending on where you live, the size of the town or city, you may have all these stores right in your neighborhood. You know, you hit one and you just make a big loop and come back home. And as I did say in the video, don't be driving 20 miles out of your way just to go to one store because they got, a can of green beans on sale. It's not worth it. But the point of it is you can do all this right from your comfort of your own home. I mean, you can do it on your cell phone, you can do it on your computer, your laptop, your iPad. You can use anything and get the word out there. Well, I shouldn't say get the word out there. You're going to do the research so that you can see where you're going to spend your money and how much you're going to spend your money on. And the biggest thing that I want people to realize is it's very simple to do. And nowadays, with everything that's going on, with the whole mess that we are in right now, the only ones that can really control how you spend is you. You have to be very frugal with your money at this point in time. Every penny counts. And it's only going to get worse as we go later on in this year and into next year. We have so many different things between what's taking place with all the weather, the bad weather throughout the whole country, the floods, the fires already. Um, I mean, the whole 9 yards. There's been tornadoes after tornadoes. And I'm kind of concerned this year because here in Florida, we've been pretty darn lucky um, in the main part of the state. Now, I'm like center almost. And, Cocoa Beach is that way, a stone's throw that way. And the Panhandle's been hit quite a few times, but the rest of the state has been pretty lucky. I mean, the Keys have gotten nicked a few times, but no major storms in quite a few years. And, you know, it, it's only so long. It's kind of don't take this the wrong way, folks, but it's kind of like playing Russian roulette. All right. You can only spin that chamber so many times and it's not going to end well. And that has me worried because I don't think a lot of people are really prepared enough for a natural disaster of that type. And here's what will happen: the credit card debt in this country is out of control, big time. People are running up their credit cards and they are using those things like it's monopoly money. All right. And that's so, so bad. Now, we're all guilty. We've all done it at some point in time in our lives. And sometimes you don't have a choice. It could be an emergency situation. You could have lost your job. You got to put food on the table. You got to pay your electric bill so your family has lights or heat, AC, whatever it may be. We've all been there. We've all done it. We're all guilty. A credit card is kind of like a get out of jail free card in Monopoly. All right. You can take that credit card, or you can put it in your dresser drawer and never use it for a year or so. And then all of a sudden, something majorly happens. And it's so easy to run that credit card up in the blink of an eye. You know, buying food. Look at how much food is costing nowadays. I mean, we're all dealing with this whole mess that we have been dealt with, and we're not getting any relief from the federal government. It just seems like they're all just sitting up there spinning the pencils in their fingers here, you know? And what is being done? As I have done a video before, there's too many excuses out there, folks, and there sure hell isn't enough solutions. And if you people agree with me, how about you give me a number one? Because nobody can clap. At least I can't hear you clap. So give me a number one if you agree. It's just ridiculous, folks. What happens if the recession hits and you think that everything is fine? This is why you have to be prepping. This is why you have to be prepared. You have to understand the importance. And I mean, I understand there's a lot of people out here that don't like watching the news, that don't, do any of this kind of stuff. And then you have people like me, and I feel that my job is to bear the bad and go through the news and see what's going on so that I can try to make sense of it and bring you information so you can be prepared. That's the goal. Because if you're not prepping, and if you haven't been prepping, you're just starting now, it is going to be so difficult for you to succeed in doing that for you and your family unless you have a really good job, because the prices of everything have gone through the roof. We live in a time now when things are so on the fence. One day it could be this side of the fence. The next day it's this side of the fence. Do you see, the problem is a lot of people like to straddle the fence, especially when it comes to being prepared. All right, folks, you have to understand that no matter what, you have to think outside the box, and you have to think about your family. And I preach this all the time, but it is the God's honest truth, folks. You have to sit back and you have to make a decision. You can't be on this side of the fence and you can't be on this side of the fence. And you sure heck don't want to straddle the fence. All right. You have to pick a side. It's either you're going to say, yes, I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to do what I have to do. And I'm going to cut back on things. I bet you anything, if everybody sat down and you actually took a pen and a piece of paper and wrote down what you spend on a daily basis for 1 week. 1 week. I challenge everybody to do this. You write down what you spend, every last nickel and dime. I don't care if you put a quarter in a Salvation Army drum. All right. You spent a quarter. Now, at the end of the week, you sit down. Either you sit down with your spouse, you sit down with yourself, doesn't matter. And you go over that list. And I guarantee you, you're going to find things that are not what you have to have. All the fun little things that you've probably bought and everything else, that cup of coffee that you got from Starbucks that you probably paid $5 or $7 for, so they could write your name on a cup. And, I mean, all the little dinky things, they mess in, Really stupid. Now, I'm not saying that you should treat yourself. That's not what I'm saying. I think it's very important. Um, my father always told me that you always pay yourself something. Always. I don't care if it's $10, $20, whatever it is. You pay yourself something because you worked all week long. Now you can spend that money on whatever you want to, or you can save it and buy something later on down the road. But you always pay yourself something out of your pay. And then everything else goes to all the bills, buying the food, putting a roof over your head. The three things that you have to have, the three things that you have to make sure that you can supply are as followed: housing. You got to have some place to live. Whether you own a home, rent a home, you're pitching a tent, whatever it is, you got to have housing. Food. You have to have food to survive, food and water. Energy. You have to have either electricity, you have to have either gas or diesel for your vehicles to get to and from work, to and from the grocery store, depending on where you live. You may be able to take transit. If you live in Manhattan, you don't have to worry about it. You can take a train, you can take a bus, take a cab, take an Uber, take a Lyft, but you're still paying because those prices all are increasing too, because nobody's going to just sit there and say, oh, yeah, price of gas is, no, now they're saying it's under $5 nationally. All right. It did go down a few pennies, folks. So we all can relax now. But nobody's going to sit here and eat all these high prices and still give you a fare from last year. The interest rate now is right at 6% on a 30-year mortgage. A year ago, it was 2.8. I think it was 2.87. Do the math. I mean, how much more money is going to cost you for these houses? And that's a whole nother thing that's going to happen with recession, folks. I feel bad for a lot of people that have bought any homes and they have a um, floating interest rate, you know, where that thing changes all the time, because that could put you in bankruptcy faster than you shake a stick. These interest rates get up to what they're talking about. We're talking could be double digits by the end of the year, because they're talking they could have 3 or 4 more rate increases until they can curb the spending and curb the inflation in this country. Because see, this is how, how there's so many things that are short right now and everything else. This is how they're going to turn around, and they want to control this, folks. If you don't believe me, look it up yourself. But what they do is, what happens is, the higher these interest rates and stuff go, the less spending power you have, the less borrowing power you have. All right. They keep taking it away from you. All right. In which the stores will be allowed to catch up, because nobody's going to be able to afford any of the products. You may catch some good deals right now, but later on down the road, folks, I tell you what, hold on to those pantyhose, because it's going to be a wild ride. So if you ain't prepared now, if you need to buy something that is a necessity, that is something that is going to help you out of a bad situation, is going to um, get you into a better place, then I would say spend the money now and buy whatever it is that is going to do that for you. Now, I'm talking about stuff like, I'm not talking about buying a new car. I'm not talking about buying a new home. I'm not talking about buying, going out and dropping $1,000 on well, now they're 1,200. That's what I saw them at Sam's, on a, 75-inch TV. I'm talking about, all right, you need a new gas grill. Gas grill comes in real handy on a emergency situation. You need a Coleman stove. I need shelving so I have more room to put my canned goods and my dry goods. I need some place safe to store these instead of just having them stacked around the house or something. Makes it so much easier to organize. Anything to do with organization, so you can organize not only your food, but you can organize your medical, your first aid. You can you can also use your storage, and you could have storage bins where you have your emergency backup systems. Maybe that's where you would want to keep something like, oh, I don't know, some way to purify water, a stove or something to cook on, maybe some extra sleeping bags, this type of stuff. I cover a lot of this in a lot of my videos that go way back when. And some of the old videos I may start redoing because, everybody's watching all the new stuff and nobody wants to go back and watch the old stuff. But then they email me or they ask me questions and everything else. Hey, what do I do about this? Or how do I go about this? And I always, respond, and I try to give them a link to a video because I talked about it. It's just because of when time was. It's the way with any YouTube channel. It's just the way it works. The algorithm is only picking up the videos that are producing well and people are watching it and everything else. It doesn't matter how great the content is. If the algorithm, when you first start out, they don't pick you up, they don't do anything, you get, 4, 5, 600 views. I mean, you can go to any YouTube channel and go all the way to the very back, and you'll see that most of them all have, probably less than 2,000 views on any given video in their first few videos. Very few people do a one video and then next thing you know, they got a million views. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of hard work that's put into this. There's a lot of long hours, a lot of research. You got to learn how to, unless you know how to do all the video editing and all this kind of stuff, you have to start off small and you keep building up. And that's kind of what I've done. I've been changing things out. I've been trying to slowly make things better mics, better cameras, better lighting, the whole nine yards. It's all part of the process. And I'm glad that I did it when I did, because now the stuff that I already bought is like the microphone. I mean, I got that for, I think it was like $100, and now it's like $150. It's the same mic, but it's all part of the inflation. You see what I'm saying here, folks? We're all in this boat together. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what race, what nationality. It doesn't matter anything. We're all in this boat together. And unless we can all really come to grips and try to help each other out and be human to each other and try to assist people in being prepared, we're doomed. I know maybe some of you out there don't like that. It's the truth. You have to be a part of some type of a community. We have a great community here. We are growing like, I'm just totally blown away. There's just no other words I can say. I'm just, every day when I get up and I'm looking, I'm like, holy cow. I mean, you people are watching the heck out of my videos right now. And I really do appreciate that. I mean, I have the one video that's almost to 1,000,000 views. It's like 30,000 away. Whoever thought I would have a video that would even go that far? I didn't. I was blown away, and I've heard my first video that got over 10,000. I remember that. But almost 1,000,000 views? I mean, come on. But the point of it is we're all in this together, and we're building this great community. And these people, if you ask a question or something and I don't answer, it's getting very difficult for me to answer more than an hour or two after a video is done because there's just so many comments. A lot of the videos are getting anywhere between 500 and 1,000 or more comments. I mean, some videos have 3, 4, 5,000 comments on them. For me to sit there and go through all the comments, it would take me hours, if not days. So I try to do my best to hit the first hour or so. And then after that, but I do notice, because sometimes if I'm up real early in the morning, because I'm an early riser, if I'm up earlier in the morning, I do scroll as I'm having my coffee. I'll scroll through comments and stuff, and I see where people have asked questions and other community members have helped them out and give them answers. That's what I'm trying to say here, folks, is we have to stick together in this time. If this thing goes south like it's going right now, and there's no stopping this, it's like a snowball out of hell. I mean, it's just, we're going downhill. We're going downhill quick. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And I don't want to be beating the same bag down the road. But you know what, folks? I mean, it is what it is. This is what is important right now. We have to live in the now, and we have to prepare for the future. Your family depends on you being prepared. Your kids depend on you for everything. You think your kids are going to go out there? They're 5 years old. They're going to be able to go out there and and what? Take a gun and go shoot a deer and gut it out, and use the hide to make clothes or shoes or mittens, and then turn around and know what to do with the meat and everything else? No, they're relying on you to go to the grocery store and making sure that there's food in the house. Now, it may not be what they like to eat, but in a grid down SHTF, total collapse of the system, or whatever be coming our way, at that point in time, when you get hungry enough, trust me, folks, you'll eat anything. And I know people out there, a lot of people, they don't like spam. All right. I've gotten so many comments when I've done videos and I show a can of spam or I talk about it, and people don't like them. But like I keep telling them, you may not like it as eating it every day. And I'm not saying that some of the stuff you're going to eat every day, but you have to realize something. If that's all that's left, if that's all that's left sitting on your counter, you're going to tell me you're going to starve yourself to death because you won't eat it? I think at that point, you'd be eating crickets, worms, bugs. Bill Gates will be proud of you. I'm telling you, folks, the way this world is going, things are just going really south really quick. And we really need to be prepared. You have to really think hard about how you're spending your money and what you're doing and what you need to do for your family. Point blank. Now, tomorrow, I have a video coming out at noon, my Sunday videos. And a lot of you out there have been emailing me pictures and everything else of what you're seeing in the stores, gas prices, and all this stuff. But tomorrow's video, I'm going to be talking about Dollar Tree and why it's the place to shop. Because I got some really good information from the store manager that I deliver to on my route. Because I know I'm going to get a lot of people that say, "Oh yeah, well, really?" And it's just like, well, I'm a delivery driver, have been for 28 years. Yeah. Um, but I'm going to tell you what he was telling me, and I think wait till you hear the profit margins. You guys have to turn into that video because they turn a better profit per dollar than Walmart does. You're gonna have to tune in and check it out. But a lot of the video, the pictures and everything that's gonna be playing in that video as I'm talking, and everything else is from what you guys have been sending in over the last 2 weeks. I didn't get them out last week, so it's 2 weeks worth. And if you'd like to email me what you see out there, I would love it, because this way here, I'm getting a firsthand look at what you're seeing wherever you live. You see, it's very hard to try to find things on, you know, the internet or anything like that, pictures and all that kind of stuff that you can actually use and not get, a community strike or somebody wants to, whatever. So if you guys take the pictures and you send them to me, I can put them out so everybody can see what's going on. And I didn't get that done in this video because there was so many of them. Um, but I'd always try to put them in the blocks and where they're from. But I listed off in the beginning of the video where all these pictures came from. Now, there was 3 people that sent me pictures. You did not say where you were from. I did email back, but I didn't get a response. So if you do send me pictures or video or anything, you know, I won't use your name. Trust me, I won't put your name or nothing out there. All I'm going to put is your city, if you give me your city or your state, one or the other. And this way here, everybody gets, because I do appreciate from, all the community members that reach out with these pictures. And now, guess what, folks? I'm sure some of you might have seen, but limitations are coming back. And I have pictures to prove it tomorrow. So you may want to really, like I was saying, you want to start prepping up however you can. I'm going to tell you, I'd hit Dollar Tree, Aldi's, and Walmart, and then check all your sales from your other stores and see who's got what on sale. And is it worth you driving over there to that point in time to try and get those type of goods? Because you know what, folks, in the end, it doesn't really matter. You have to do what you have to do. I mean, if it means you have to drive to go somewhere to get some good deals, but maybe if you're going to do that, do all your major shopping there so you're not driving all over town. You're going to the one place, try to get as much done as you can there, and then turn around and go back home. Try to cut out all the other little spots, if you know what I'm saying. So, once again, I'd like to thank everybody for all that you do for this channel. And you guys are just amazing. And I'm just blown away. And I do appreciate everybody, all my mods, and everybody that tunes in every Saturday night at 8 o'clock. I mean, we've got over 600 people in here right now. Kudos to all of you. You people are great. And I'm going to get over to some comments, and we got a giveaway. So nobody go anywhere, because, you people, once I announce your name and I go in and I put a comment on your comment, you have 48 hours. And after 48 hours, you forfeit your prize. And that's not what I want. So make sure you're watching your comments when I do these giveaways, because you get notified on your little phone or whatever. And this way here, you can send me your address and I'm ordering it through Amazon and sending it right to you. All right, let me scroll over here. Now, if you do have any questions or anything, please put those in all caps. And this way here, hopefully it will stick out a little bit better than just regular. I'm going to try to scroll back up a little here. Make sure I haven't. All right, we're going to start right about here. Sunset, hey, good to see you. Okay, so JP said he had to spend Had to spend money on a new washer, fridge, and wall AC. Mine were all very old and didn't want to get stuck with having them go and not being able to get them. Thank God it was a good sale at least. Well, see, that's the thing. Those things would be somewhat of an, especially a refrigerator, you know, as a necessity. And if you got a good deal, that's even better because you want to make sure that if you do have to buy some big ticket items, folks, you want to make sure you're shopping around. Just don't buy the first thing that you see. Make sure you're checking out all the stores, especially with appliances of that kind, because those are big ticket items. That the only thing that you really didn't, you know, replace there was either the dryer and or the stove. So basically, you got three new major appliances there, and they were having a good sale, and so you probably got them at a really good deal. Vicky, thank you so much for the super chat, super sticker. Excuse me. You don't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. It helps the channel out. It helps me do giveaways and make improvements and everything else. I do appreciate that. Someone Cricket Factory. Damascus, run by Aspire, a global industrial leader in the production of eatable insects, will generate 9,000 metric tons of crickets can be consumed by humans and pets. I've been reading about that. I've been doing a little research on that, and it's a little scary what they got planned. Let me tell you what. I'm telling you, folks. Bob 67, Charles for president. They wouldn't like me as president. I can tell you that right now. I'd be firing a lot of people. A lot of people. You got to go. See ya. Thing to say, you had the best mods in the business. Yes, I do, Dragon Slayer. I do. I appreciate my mods. Crazy Cancer, no cinnamon, but thanks anyways. Montana Grizzly fan says, thank you for what you do, Charles. You are very welcome. You've been around here for a while too. There's quite a few. There's a lot of new people that I haven't seen, and I welcome everybody to the live stream. If it's your first time being here, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and everything else. We all appreciate, because it helps all of us as we grow. The more information comes into the group, and hopefully, if people need help, if they are beginners, if they are starting out, then more information can roll out of the group to help more people. Sherry Martin, thanks for the updates. Heading to Dollar Tree first thing in the morning. Yes, I mean, go check them out. I'm telling you, I mean, all their canned goods and just about everything is $1.25. I mean, you can't go wrong. And it's not store brand. I mean, it's not, the store brand, it's name brand. So it's not like you're buying, like Walmart or, Price Chopper has their own brand. Target has their own brand. All these different companies all have their own brand. Basically, with Dollar Tree, they sell the name brand products. And they used to be $1 a can. Now everything went to $1.25. So, but still, because even in my Walmart here and in the grocery store, sometimes they don't always have stuff on the shelves. It depends on the time you go, and it depends on the day of the week you go. So But, when I did my last video and I was in Walmart, that was an afternoon video. I mean, so eh, it's kind of it just depends on how many people they have stocking the shelves and, how bad it really is. Jennifer Wilson, thank you very much. She says, "You are so down to earth. I enjoy watching and learning from you." I try to be that way. Um, I will not sit here and I will not sugarcoat anything. I never have. I never will. Um, I don't believe in doing that. Sometimes the truth hurts, and that's life. That's how I was raised. I try to come across um, so people understand what I'm trying to get my point across too, because not everybody uh, can sit here and talk in these big, huge terminologies. As my dad used to say, you're using million dollar words on a $10 man. If you get what I'm saying. So I always want to try to make sure that I'm coming across so that everybody understands what I'm saying. Um, and that's the whole point of this. If I was speaking and using words that you don't understand, then most people probably wouldn't even subscribe because they wouldn't know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, you have to try and to engage the community and make sure that they're grasping the information that you work so hard to put together to try and help them benefit them and their families. Because that's the whole goal of this channel is to benefit you, is to make you better prepared and make you more aware of your surroundings and how to deal with that. And I always try to make sure that I tell you what you can do and how you can get around or a solution or something. Because let's face it, folks, like I said before, there's just way too many damn excuses out here and not too many people have solutions. So we're the ones that have to come up with our solutions. Okay. We're the ones that are rowing the boat. The idiots that are supposedly guiding the boat, they all bailed a long time ago. So now we have to keep the boat afloat and we have to figure out how to get that boat back to land safe and sound with all of our families on it. Kind of like a big Noah's Ark type deal. A lot of people can relate to that. All right. Let's see here. JP, hey, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. You guys don't have to do that, but I do appreciate the super chats, the super stickers, all that kind of stuff. It helps out so much on this channel. And we were able to do even more giveaways. And we're going to start working on some different things. I'm trying to put some stuff together. Um, I'd like to try to see if I can find um, either a local food bank or a local mission and maybe start something like buy me a coffee or one of those type of things. One of my all-time favorite YouTubers that got me really going on this, Alaskan Prepper does that. And I think that is just so cool that, he takes the money and either most of the time he'll go buy the food himself and he takes it all over there, or sometimes he does donate to other places and charities. But he always lets his community know and everything that they put in there. You see, because he videotapes it, you see what is really happening and where your money's going, and it's just an amazing thing, folks. I mean, um, it really is. I mean, there's no better feeling in the world than when you help somebody in need. And it can be something as little as giving the dude just standing on the corner with a sign that looks like he hasn't had a bath in, oh, 3, 4 weeks. It's 100 degrees outside, and you hand him a bottle of water because that could have just been the difference between life or death. Think about it. One bottle of water. But you feel so good once you do it because you just help somebody out. You get this little warm and fuzzy feeling inside, if you get what I'm saying. All right. And it's a good fuzzy feeling because that's our human nature is to help people. There's a select few of people out there that their human nature is to search and destroy, and they're not going to really last that long, folks. I can tell you that right now. You get all these people that are just whew, way out there, and if you don't have just a little bit of common sense or something, you're not going to make it. I can tell you that right now. Oh, I got another super sticker. Beach Bum. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. That's pretty cool. Haven't saw that one yet. But all right, let's see here. We all want to get to who won on the good old giveaway. Now I'm just pulling up. Just give me 1 second here, folks. We're going to run this here in just 1 second. And this week, we're giving away, because I've been getting on this back to basics, and it's coming into severe storm season and everything else. And with the shit probably hitting the fan really soon, um, a back to basics book is a complete guide to traditional skills. And on top of that, you're also going to win the emergency radio. It's a digital weather radio. It's AM, FM. It's got shortwave. It's got the NOAA weather radio. It's hand crank. It'll charge your phone. It'll do all that kind of cool stuff, folks. This is a $60 value right here. And are we all ready to find out who won? Okay, here we go. We're running the good old YouTube comment picker, and the winner is Michelle Gardner. Michelle Gardner is the winner. And her comment on Friday's video was, yes, we're feeling the pain more than you can imagine now. Come to find out, water is bad. It's a chemical in it called forever chemical. It's dangerous to your health. It's a lot to tell, but I am so upset. We have been drinking this water for 3 years. It's crazy anyway. Thank you. Well, Michelle Gardner, you are the winner. I hope that you are on here. I don't know if you are or not. If you are on here, please email me at survivalpreparedness69@gmail.com with your name, address, and zip code. And I will order these from Amazon. I'm not bringing to you personally. I'm going to order them from Amazon. I'll have them shipped right to your house. And this way here, you'll have at least one little piece of mind and something good to read that will inspire you, hopefully, and maybe enlighten you, even if you are a seasoned prepper, because I'm a firm believer nobody knows everything. We all learn something new every single day when we wake up in the morning. By the end of the day, you will have learned something new. I tell you, folks. All right, I got a super chat from Donna. Let's see here. Hi, Charles. Do you have any recommendations for one of those small portable AC units in case the power goes out at 100 degrees? Love your videos. Thanks. I would have to say there are several different types that are out there. And I would really have to do some research to find out um, what would be a really good one. Because some of those portable AC units, I've heard some stories on them. Some of them do have to be ventilated outside, some do not. There are some that are the size of a little box like this. You have to figure out, are you looking probably to cool a whole house? Maybe a bedroom, living room? You'd have to get dimensions and we'd have to, really look at that and see. Um, I do believe, Donna, I do have your email address. So I will look into that and I will email you because you did send me some quite great information that you did send. Um, quite eye opening to be exact. And wow, if you people only knew some of this stuff that's out there, it's a scary world, folks. And this is why we have to be prepared. Thank you, Donna, so much. I will be emailing you hopefully within the next day or two. And let me do a little research and I will get back to you. And then if you're not the same Donna, I'm pretty sure you are. If you're not the same Donna, you email me and I will email you back. But I do appreciate the super chat. And let's see here. Living in Florida, Lady Jocelyn, living in Florida looking for a small AC unit. Yes, I mean, it just depends on what size you have to figure out the square footage of your rooms with ACs. I mean, you don't want to overwork it because then it overheats. And you don't want to have to buy something that's too big and then you're going to be freezing your butt off because it's going into a small room. So you really have to pay attention to your dimensions of the room you're going to put it in and how big of a square footage you're looking to um, cool down. I mean, if it's a room about this size here, a 5,000 BTU would be more than way enough. But if you're looking to cool, say, a one bedroom apartment, because you probably could do that with like a 10,000 BTU AC, do it comfortably. You probably could get away with doing it with a 5,000 if you kept the windows and the shades closed and you had fans to move the air around. That'd be another great thing for you to do. Oh, JT just posted Sam's is having a new member drive, $8 for a year membership, only through the 26th. Do you hear that, folks? $8. Take $8 and go to Sam's because if you can buy in bulk, even if you split it with somebody, hey, Rockamas, good to see you. Just saw your name go by. If you can split it with somebody, I mean, you're saving money. So I mean, that's a whole thing here, folks. Is we have to try to save money. There's so much stuff that's going down. There's so many unknowns. If we go through this recession, if we go into another recession, as I said in the beginning of this video, things are going to get really ugly really quick, and there's not really too much we can do about it. And we're just going to have to hope and pray that one, we all keep our jobs, and if not, my goal is to make sure that you are prepped and ready. So this way here, if something does happen and you lose your job, because you're only going to get on an average across the board for your um, nice little stay home pay that your state pays you. It's about $358 for your unemployment. That's average across the board. Now it differs from state to state. And now I'm not talking about all the extra crap that the government was handing out and caused a whole nother problem, and nobody at that point wanted to go to work because they're making more money sitting home on their butt than they were going to work. That's where the problem started. That's what happens when you hand out too much money too fast. You see what I'm saying? They should have been giving the money out to all those people that were working. I'm sorry, but they should have took care of the people that were suffering that wasn't working and made sure they were taken care of, we were all still working, you know? So why spend the money like that? You mean to tell me the government doesn't know who's working and who's not? Yeah, okay. All right. They know when you go to the bathroom and how much toilet paper you use, folks. All right. Don't kid yourself, especially if you got your little cell phone with you right now. Okay. Nowadays, I mean, who knows what they're watching? Just think about that. But, anyways, all right. We're at an hour right now. I'd like to thank everybody once again for everything that you're doing for this channel. You guys are phenomenal. You guys are really rocking and rolling. Um, we are growing. We just crested 45,000 subscribers this morning, and we are growing rapidly. We are gaining a lot of good people in the community. I've seen a lot of good comments and people helping other people out, which I like to see. If I see people not being so kind, and to the new mod, um, copy first and then speak. If you do see something out there on a video, just remember you do have the right to take it down or do whatever you have to do. JT has done that. I believe Jan has too. I appreciate when you guys do go back through and kind of monitor as things go along, because I do not like when people are trying, especially if somebody is asking a question and somebody's being, well, I'm just going to say it, somebody's being a smart ass and just answering. That's not where we're about here. And it's not going to be tolerated. And you will be gone, because we're here to stick together, to work together, to get to one goal. And the one goal is to be prepared for tomorrow. I'm Survival Preparedness for Beginners. Thank everybody for all that you've done for this channel. I thank to all my mods and everyone else. And until next Saturday night at 8 p.m., we will be having another giveaway. And don't forget, um, Michelle Gardner, you have to make sure you contact me. I'm going to go back in on the video and comment on your video, on your comment, I should say. Gets a little confusing. And reach out to me, and I will get the product out to you as soon as possible so that you can enjoy your winnings from Survival Preparedness for Beginners. So until next time, folks, you all stay safe. You keep prepping. Keep your head above water, because together we all will make it across safely.